Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, Thunderdrake Studios, coming at you with another spicy deck profile. Today, I have my updated INFERNOID deck. This deck is a ton of fun to play, and I figured it actually got some decent matchups right now that like the really crazy combo decks got nerfed a little bit. I know Dragon Link is running around, but realistically, if there's any deck past Dinosaur that can break boards like that, I think this deck is one of them. So without further ado, let's get right into the profile. Starting off with the monsters, we have two each of Mama Ononku and Daddy Devi Yaddy. If you don't know what these things do, Ononku is on summon a Dark Hole on legs, and then it's a quick effect spell and trap negate by triggering a monster. And Devi Yaddy is a Heavy Storm on legs on summon, and then it's a quick effect monster negate by triggering a monster, and both of them banish instead of destroy. So it is actually an out to Dragoons, which is really nice if this deck has that. We got the one Atondale. He's like a Boral Sword on legs, sort of, and then all of these monsters also serve as quick effect DE Crows. So I'm not going to mention that again, but just know that they do that. So then past that, he is just a Boral Sword, double Systemos. After damage, like end of battle phase, if he attacks into a monster, he can banish a card non-targeting. Just real nice spot removal. Sajet, his level's good. That's just about it. Now for the littles, we have double Patrulia MST on legs, double Harmodic, Monster Pop on legs, one Antra, like compulse for any card on legs, and then 3 copies of the Decatron. I think this is pretty standard. I play maybe a little bit more smalls than I think some people do, but that's just personal preference. And then we have, of course, the 3 Gamma Slamma and the 1 Driver. I think this is really important in this deck. This is just probably the strongest hand trap for just in general right now. Like, if you Gamma the Alistair, it's just like, alright, cool, it's pretty good. Although this deck actually has a pretty good Dogmatica Invoked matchup, but whatever. That's it for monsters. I don't know how many there is. You can count and then let me know in the comments, and then, I don't know, you'll have respect. Spells, 3 Vanishment, 3 Imagination, and double Apocalypse. I don't really know what the standard ratio for Apocalypse is, but I figured it's kind of decent as a 2-of, because it's kind of like a backup search target, because like realistically, if you're going second, Vanishment will usually search Imagination, and you'll usually search Apocalypse. I mean, if you're going second, you'll search Imagination. If you're going first, you'll search Void Feast. So this just kind of lets you run more of like a slower game plan. If you've got Lair up, then this actually becomes better, because then just the constant discards to send Noids and just kind of fuel your graveyard in a more slow fashion is a little bit better. And then the rest of the spells, let's just run right through those, because I think it's all pretty standard. 3 Lair Darkness with the 1 Terraforming. This is one of the more innocuous field spells until I actually drop it on you and just like, oh, that's pretty good, because you can tribute my stuff for cost. I can tribute goons for cost. There is nothing that this does not out, with the exception of Darkest Diabolos. This card is just nice. Then we have 3 Monster Gates, the most busted card in tandem with Lair. We just tribute your stuff to mill half of my deck, mill a bunch of Infernoids, and then just go off, special summon all of them, and punch you in the face of the big Link monster. And then a bunch of broken 1-ofs. We have 1 each of Reasoning, 1 for 1 Upstart, Card Destruction, and then the 1 trap in the deck, Void Feast. If you don't know what this does, it sends a Void Spell or trap for a hand or face-up field to grave to special summon up to 3 Infernoid monsters whose levels equal 8 exactly. Yeah, because basically this is why you run the Sajet, because you summon 2 Decatrons and then a Sajet, and then Decatrons both send either like double Devi Yaddy or Devi Yaddy Ononku or double Ononku. So you get a DD Crow, up to 2 monster negates, and or up to 2 spell and trap negates, just depending on the deck. So that's it for the main deck. I'm pretty sure it's 40 cards, might be 41. Extra deck, we got the 1 Tiara. I'm not playing Extravagance, so I don't think you need more than 1. If you're dropping this, you should be punching them in the face that turn. Like, this card basically signifies they're dead. 3 copies of Entis, because Dogmatica isn't the only deck that sends cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. And then, I mean, realistically, I'm actually going to stay on this for just a second. I'm almost tempted to run a couple copies of, like, I think it's the Wind Pegasus ad Ignister. Just because I can send that in more slow matchups. Like, if they try to resolve Maximus, I'll just be like, alright, cool, I can send stuff too. Have fun with that. But yeah, 3 Entis, this card is just real nice. This is the original Extra Foolish deck with the Tiara. Alright, let's just get into Link monsters. This is probably, like, Link Monsters made this deck really good. One, Relinquish Anima. This card's actually really busted. I was playing Link Reba for a while, and I think I'm almost tempted to play that again in tandem with Anima, but Anima is just really good because, like, it just punishes sloppy placement. I cannot speak today, I'm sorry. One Link Spider, you make this with the tokens. One Hida, just to get free Link fodder with that Ash in the graveyard. One Doolittle, they're all fire monsters, so they can just all get huge. Like, Deviati would be 34, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Beat Cop, funny enough, I actually make this instead of the Doolittle, no, the Wee Witch, I think, the Dark Link monster, because this also has an effective tribute card. So under Blair, I can just tribute their stuff to put a patrol counter on Lair, so if they try to Twin Twister it, it'll survive the first destruction, which is just super gross. And then Nightmares, Phoenix, Cerberus, I'm probably going to cut this for something, I don't know what though, let me know in the comments. Unicorn, the boss monster, Equimax, new edition, Unchained Abomination. We can actually make this pretty well. Because it just takes 2 monsters, including a Link monster, so if I'm trying to play a little bit of a slower game state against like a slower deck, say like Altergeist or Eldritch, is just really good against that. Simply because of the fact that, like, ooh, if I have an Equimax and something that it points to, I can punch, main phase 2, link to Abomination. If I destroy something, oh, Abomination is going to go burr. Obviously, this is more for like slower decks where Equimax wouldn't quite kill him, because Equimax is a very high commitment card, but if it doesn't kill them, then it can kind of fall through, but usually it will end up killing them. And then the last monster is a little bit flex spot. I know I actually can't make Avermax very easily, but it's just sort of like a flex spot. I almost want to play like the Tenyi Synchro 8, I think it's like the Draco Berserker Tenyi, just for the Gamma. And also, funny enough, it doesn't come up a lot, but Decatron is a tuner, so don't forget that. Like, that will come up sometimes where you're just like, oh cool, I could make some Synchro monsters here. It really doesn't come up enough for me to justify playing anything other than probably the Draco Berserker, just because, again, Draco Berserker is like a Ghost Ogre on crack, and it's just a Borrelsword on legs. But yeah, that's just about it for my updated Infernoid deck profile for the, I'm just going to call this the November 2020 format because October's almost done. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.